Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a really important news about the application for the Golden Visa for Italy, the Investor Visa for Italy. It's not a good news, it's a bad news, we can say. The good news is that it's a temporary situation. So the bad news today is that for some circumstances, if you are a particular Russian citizen, a Russian national, or Bielorussian citizen, for the moment you cannot file application. So what happened? What are the future forecasts? What will happen in the future? Will you be able to apply? And what is happening for the pending application? Because there are many people that are pending applications. Today we want to clarify all these points. This is Marco Bozzani, as always, from Bielorussian, the Firm&Partners from Italy, an Italian immigration law with expertise on the visa application. So do not lose any more time and let's start. As I mentioned in the introduction, today for all Russian citizens and Belarusian citizens it is not possible to file an application, or better, you can file an application, but your application won't be processed. If you go on the website, the official website of the Ministry of Economical Affairs, on the website in particular of the Investor Visa for Italy, you will see a statement. The statement says that starting from July 14th, the committee decided to apply the European recommendations. The European recommendation number 2022 of 2028, which European recommendation that says that recommend and ask all the member states of the European Union to suspend and block all the applications for the residency by investment and citizenship by investment. So also for countries, which is not the case of Italy, but also for countries for citizenship by investment, your application is for the moment is suspended, is not processed until further notice. So for Italy, we have a residency by investment scheme, so an residency by investment application. So what happened? It happens that if you are a Russian citizen and Belarusian citizen, and if you file it right now, you can technically file an application, but your status will remain as pending. It doesn't mean that your application will be denied, but will be simply not processed until further notice, so until the situation will change. And so they will restart to apply, to check all the application also for Russian citizens and Belarusian citizens. So what happened right now? Well, there is no other ways to apply. This is a new decision that was approved by the committee, Investor Visa Committee, in July 14th. So for the moment, for Russian citizens and Belarusian citizens, there is, for new clients, for new applicants, there are no other ways than wait. And what is happening for the pending application? Because there are a lot of people from Russia, Russian citizens, that are applying for Investor Visa, the Golden Visa. The problem is that technically for all the pending applications that are pending at the day when the decision was made, so for all the pending application in the moment of the day July 15th, of course all the pending applications are affected. The problem and potentially the positive news may be for all people that they were approved before, or how it is happening in some cases. There are people that apply, for example, in February, March, April 2023, so way before the decision of the suspension, and their case was simply on the waiting list. In this situation, well, we need to evaluate how to proceed, because potentially you can file, we need to check, potentially we need to file a lawsuit against the ministry, because as you know, if you also watch all the other videos, by the law, the Investor Visa Committee has to decide your case in maximum 30 days. So from the day you file your application, in 30 days you need to have an approval for having your investor visa. So the problem is that if you file, for example, in February or in March, the 30 days expiration is in March, April. So way before the decision of suspension. So technically speaking, they have not to suspend your application. So in these particular cases, we need to check case by case what to do, if it makes sense to file a lawsuit for unlocking, so for asking a judicial court order for unlocking your your application. As always, thank you for your time, and if you have some questions, something you want to ask, you can contact the team through the contact form on the website. So you can go on the website and use the contact form, it's free of charge, so we can check your situation, you can describe your case, you can then describe to us what is happening, and so we can evaluate what you do. You can also leave comments here below if you have some questions, general questions. Of course, we cannot do consultations here on social media. Thank you so much for your time as always, and see you on next week.